certainly honored to be with all of you, DK Furia, the dominators of Premier Bandidos. It's the 13U Houston 1000 Super Regional NIT, the 13U Championship game. She is Danny Wexelman. I am Darren Sutton. Today we have enjoyed some really good baseball. As a matter of fact, let's be clear, we've enjoyed good baseball all weekend long. Congratulations to Z-Team National winning at the 14U age group. You've got to grind your way through. You got to pull some miracles out if you're going to earn your way here, and that's what's gone on both sides. Some scares, by the way, for the Bandidos, who at one point won more than 100 games in a row last year. And you can see the close game right there with LBC for DK Furia National. And kudos, you've got the number 22 seed coming all the way to take on the Bandidos. Danny, this is a team coached by Ray De Leon that is loaded with select festival athletes. You could pick any of them you want. You could pick someone named Hunter or Henry or Soberall or Landry or Targash or Pio or George. We pick Leland Henry.
What a blast to get to see these guys. This is from earlier, by the way, from Henry hitting it out of the ballpark. He's got that light tower power, but to get a chance to see these guys again early in the season, you mentioned Ray De Leon. We got to see him in January at ABCA, the American Baseball Coaches Association. And to say that Ray is passionate would be an understatement, but equally as passionate, D, is DK Furia.
Yeah, this is a fun program. And by the way, Giancarlos Nunez, a 12U Select Festival athlete, as is Christian Show, Brantley Baskin, and Chase Domreese at the bottom of the order. This is a fun team. Again, they're not supposed to be here. They're playing with house money. Teams like that are really, really dangerous to deal with. And so the opportunity for Select Festival athlete, Maddox McBride, who takes the rock and he rolls for the Bandidos. Another event, another chance to win another title for the Bandidos. It seems like every time they enter an event, the chance is there. Well, let's see what Furia has to offer. This fun program. Fort Worth, Texas, their home. This is a program that has had 28 top 3 finishes at PG events, talking about Furia. 11 championships, 11 runner-ups, and then, of course, a third place 6 times. So they've been here. They've done special things. Winning this event, though, is different. It's really tough to do. And we are underway. Good, firm downward tilt to Julian Rodriguez. Rodriguez serving as the right fielder. Outfielder, left-handed pitcher by trade, 13 and a half years old, stands a diminutive 5'4" as he shoots that one back to the screen. 1-1 the count.
Well, you can tell immediately how athletic Julian Rodriguez is in the box, and that he's got that extra 1-2 steps being in the left side. That puts pressure on the defense. That's why you see the defense in a little bit.
Good conversation. Maddox number 28 on the back of that jersey. As we said, a 12U Select Festival athlete this past year. He's a Texan from Tomball, Texas. Big right-hander. Very close to the plate. Look at that lead right spike right there on the chalk line. Breaking ball inside. Started at letter high, dropped down and in and off the plate. Making him work already.
You mentioned McBride, a 2-time Select Fest kid already. In this calendar year, he's pitched 8 innings, given up 6 hits, just 1 earned run, 13 strikeouts.
Slashes that one the other way. That one is down. He's going to run for a bit. Rodriguez hurrying on around. Eyes second, he is in there. He'll throw out the anchor. It's a lead-off double for Furia off the bat of Julian Rodriguez.
How pretty is this swing? We've talked about bat to ball. We talked about it earlier in the 14U championship game, and we'll do it again in the 13U championship game. He goes with the pitch, slices it down the line. We knew the wheels were there, and he stands up with a double. That's the way you lead things off.
Meet Mark De Leon. He can play anywhere on the field you need him to as he lifts that one foul off to the left side. His home is in Corpus Christi, Texas, but he's played shortstop, second, third. He'll hop up on the mound. He is caught at perfect game events as well. We've seen Mark at 6 PG events. And we've seen him perform at this event as well. Settles in. And he's been asking for some bunts. That one is bunted foul. Danny, kind of a fan of the bunt.
You know, I like watching teams play some chess every once in a while, like a bunt drop down. You, per usual, are right. And when I asked for it earlier, you asked for a line drive in the gap, and you got your wish. I did not.
Well, I can see the speed for De Leon. I think it's the concept, and I get what you're saying, of pressure, putting a ton of pressure. High bouncing ball. Guess what he just did? He moved that runner to third. A selfless at bat, a successful at bat for De Leon.
And this is a team, in DK Furia, that's battle-tested. You mentioned it, maybe playing with some house money in this tournament, but they've been battle-tested all weekend long. And you can tell the top of this lineup is going to be the pressure cookers, right? They're the guys who make that popcorn pop. Look how much speed De Leon has down the line, barely not beating that out. And as you mentioned, now you've got a runner just 90 feet away from home.
Hay que estar listo.
Giancarlo Nunez from Royce City, Texas, a Select Festival athlete. 2024 12U Select Festival athlete. Catcher. First baseman, pitcher as well. Slow breaking ball is high.
He's also rocking number 99. Those jerseys are fire. I didn't know when I was going to get to say that, but I'm going to say it early. I am a fan. And he's got the big 99 on his back. There's a lot to represent there.
Big swing. Fouls it off right there at home plate. Take a moment. Listen to the moms and the grandmoms and the abuelas in the stands. That's awesome. Awesome. As someone who spends every Saturday and Sunday with his abuela here at home. Hit hard on the ground. Ranging over to his left. Little bit of little ball. And look at the clapping when he crosses first base. Love seeing that kind of baseball. Selfless, and a run against this top team in the country is big.
Yeah, I mean, that all starts with Julian Rodriguez, right? He is a great at-bat. He doubles, gets himself into scoring position early. Mark De Leon moves him over, and then Nunez drives him in. And you know what? Starting with the lead is a huge deal.
Derek Poimero fouls that one off. Annie Wexham and Darren Sutton, glad to have you with us. Poimero from Euless, Texas. Just 13, 6-1 already. Didn't want to, and it looks like he didn't. So a nice job holding up there. He's played in 56 perfect game events. He's got a busy summer plan as Maddox McBride steps off the mound. Breaking ball at the outside corner, 1-2 the count.
We've started to see the evolution of that pitch through the first three batters. And each time McBride throws it, he's gotten closer and closer. And that was a nice job landing it for a strike.
Just off the plate outside. A 12-6 curveball. We've talked about it ad nauseum with young athletes. Heck, with major leaguers, it is a tough pitch to command. With no side-to-side movement, really difficult. But boy, when it's thrown well, it can be effective. Swung on and missed strike three, and down goes Poimero. Maddox McBride, good old-fashioned over-the-top yellow hammer, as they call it. This is what started it, though. Julian Rodriguez putting the pressure on. And then a little bit of little ball, and it's 1-0 Furia.
Stepping to the plate. I believe this is where it all began.
And here comes the pitch.
And this is the sweetest sound in the world.
Of course, to be able to swing a bat quick, you're going to have to be strong.
I believe you gotta rise before you can shine. That there is no agony worse than defeat.
The question is, does he have the bat speed? Does he have what it takes?
And an angel watches over me.
And swing it. Just keep swinging. Just keep swinging.
I believe this will all be worth it.
And the next pick in the 2024 draft is...
The Houston 1000 Super Regional NIT, the premier Bandidos. Ray De Leon's pursuit of his 2,000th coaching win as a head coach. 2,000. And every one of these athletes, Select Festival athletes, Gerardo Hurtado at the bottom of the order is not one of those, but he's an amazing player anyway. Can work wherever you need him on the field. We'll introduce them one by one. You've heard all the positives, the exploits. You know they can play. This is the #1 team in the country and has been for a couple of years. And what I love about it is they've stuck together as a team, not fanning out onto other teams. They enjoy working with one another. Meet Noel Garcia, who himself is a Texan, and being a Texan, he's heard about the Bandidos. And again, it's one of those chances as a young athlete. You had it, Danny, in softball. I had it a bit in baseball in the minor leagues as well. You wake up in the morning, you get a chance to deal with the best team there is, and nothing is better than that.
You welcome the challenge. If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And this is one of the best teams in the country at their age level.
Raylan Hunter from South Carolina, Pacolet, South Carolina. 8th grader in Cliffdale Middle School is where he attends school. Has had a great summer. Been able to play this past summer at the PG World Series, PGI, and has helped this team played incredibly well. Ashley and Reynaldo, his parents. Elbow drops below it. It sails high, 1-1.
He's such an athletic and electric player. You can see it in the box. It looks like he's just got these little electrocution, little molecules floating around him. Twitchy. Maybe some people would call him twitchy, but he is an electric type player. And to your point earlier, Dee, about this team and these kids playing from all over, but they play for Bandidos, that's Ray De Leon. That's the culture he's created. Go to PGTV and watch the interview we did with him earlier this year at the American Baseball Coaches Association. You'll hear it.
0-2. Ray slaps that one foul down the line. We mentioned mom and dad's names, but we need to take it a step further. His mom was a shortstop. Dad was a wide receiver, both at Appalachian State. And a lot of great family athleticism all around. He's a gold medalist, too. He was part of a 12U national team that won gold, the World Cup in Taiwan. Ray, in the air, center field, hangs up an awful long time and dumped it in there. Hurrying on around, into second he goes. Ray standing up, 2 bases. Boy, Mero unable to make the play. I'm going to guess they're playing him very, very deep, maybe too deep. I think this one, I'm shocked it dropped in.
Yeah, it's a mile high in the air. Hunter just got under it, and it's just under the glove of Poimero. And he's got the speed. He's on second in scoring position.
Well, the interesting thing about Tyler Early, who is from Louisiana, that he's in scoring position when he's in the on-deck circle. He is ready to swing it. He is ready to score. Huge power. First baseman, outfielder, left-handed pitcher. Skips into the dirt. Runner moves to third. And Jay Johnson.
Watch him coming home here.
Are you listening, Jay Johnson? Because when you talk to Tyler Early and say, hey, Tyler, you're really good. Everybody's talking about you. Even though you're a youth player, where would you love to go someday? Jay, he said LSU. Just thought I'd make that clear.
You know what I like is that when you look at the lineup card filled out by Ray De Leon, It's just Tyler. I really enjoyed these lineup cards written out by the head coaches. It's just Tyler. It's just a first name. Yeah. Respect. Just Tyler.
I'm glad you enjoyed them, as that one misses outside. 2-0 the count. I'll remind Ray with a hug and a firm, manly handshake because I care about him. When we're broadcasting a game, it super helps to put the whole name on there. I know you know that it's just Tyler. Just a reminder. 2-0, he takes low, 3-0 the count. Again, fun opportunity for Noel Garcia. Kenny and Kavana Hudson, the parents of Tyler Early, and Tyson, his younger sibling. Dad played college baseball at LSU Alexandria. That one is low. It's ball 4.
Hey, that's a nice job by Colt Connect to keep the ball in front of him, even if the walk was drawn. Doesn't allow the run to score.
There's Ray. Should he win it, it will be 2,000 wins. He's got a long list of alumni that have gone on to professional baseball. He's really celebrating what Drew Romo was doing, grabbing hold of a spot in the major leagues. That's one of his alum, but there are so many. Anthony Volpe stopped by, despite being a Northeast kid, and played for De Leon along the way. His alumni is a who's who, and I'm guessing this man is on the same track. Huge power, just like Early. It's massive power for Leland Henry.
Six foot 1, 245 pounds. He's built to crush baseballs. He did that earlier, of course. He's a 3-hole hitter, D, and he just looks composed in the box. He looks very calm, collected.
Outside. Well, there comes a point, too, when you understand where you fit in as a hitter. You're maybe a little bit bigger, stronger, faster. You've aged ahead of those you take on. And if you can be patient, it's a huge asset. But to me, it would be hard. But there you go. Patiently gets himself a walk. I think the game has gotten modern, too, and young athletes. We talk so much. We say it out loud that, hey, these young athletes consume our game in appetizers. They only watch 15-second clips. Boy, I would debate that. Because every elite player, Danny, you and I talk to, by the time they get to 16 or 17, make it clear, I love baseball. I'm a fan. I watch entire games. And the reason I'm saying that is guys like Early and Henry know that a walk is a base runner and a base runner is a run. And it's fun to see that part of their game grow because guess what? They're not too far away from being challenged big time. I understand their dominance now, but it'll all change. You know that.
It all evens out. It all neutralizes, right? You mentioned this earlier in our broadcast for the 14U, is that some guys just have a little catching up to do, right? Some guys mature faster, they grow faster, but that doesn't really matter. I would scream it at the top of my lungs if I wouldn't be annoying here, but everyone eventually gets to where they should be. You just have to be patient in that. It's okay if your kid isn't hitting home runs right away or he can't land that 12-6 curveball right away. To me, it's the fundamental stuff. And if you stick with it, you practice, you work, you put your head down and do what's needed, you always get there.
Jesse Soberall out of Yonkers in New York lines that one into left field. It skips on by Lennon Dunn, who will go gather it up against the wall. Soberall into second. An aggressive approach for the Bandidos. And the Bandidos strike right back. They grab a couple of runs, and they lead it 2-1.
Yeah, so this is a nice job. That pitch is kind of up in the zone, and Soberall doesn't even swing the bat all the way through because he doesn't need to. He's that strong, and then the ball skipping away allows the Bandidos to take advantage of that miscue out there. But that's what you do when you're the 4-hole hitter, right? He took advantage. He jumped on the first pitch. He saw it in the zone, and now you've got a 2-0 lead.
Bowen Landry out of Houston, Texas. Western Academy, a rising 7th grader. He said, someday when I go to college, I too would love to go to LSU, but I'm either playing baseball or football or both when I get there.
I love it.
Bowen Landry hits a high fly ball down the left field line toward the corner. There's room. Nice range, good play. Dunn this time makes the play, but it's a sac fly and it's an RBI for third baseman Bowen Landry.
That's such a big league name, too. Bowen Landry. Like, that just sounds like you're playing third base in the big leagues for the Red Sox. He just gets under it there, but great job by Leland Henry to tag up and then come home 3-0.
Austin Targash. Targash out of Texas as well. I appreciate Boston. He did the Select Festival this summer. And we talk to them, we sit down, we interview them, we give them a questionnaire, and I put down name pronunciation. Targac. He said to me, it's Tar-Gotch. Targac. Those are his words. Breaking ball rolls at third base line, played off to the belt. Gets a hold of it and shoots it on across. Brantley Baskin. Runner stays put at second base. That's another big league name, by the way. First name, Boston.
Yeah, anytime you got a name like that, I would argue that there's a lot of names in this Bandidos lineup that look like big league names. But yeah, those are big league names. I love them a lot.
Stephen Pio is out of Yardley, PA. Penwood Middle School, rising 8th grader. Had a chance last year to play in the New York Elite, first ever national tournament team. Joined them, first time. As a matter of fact, when he, out of Yardley, PA, was invited to play with New York Elite on a travel ball event, it was the first time he'd ever flown on a plane.
That's awesome.
That's how fast things are happening for this young man.
Wow.
Charming memories when he looks back at his 24 summer. Charming. Like, you just are so joyful when you see these young men share their thoughts. Shares a chance to play for the PG World Series with the Bandidos finally. 2-0 the count. Hits that one hard on the ground to the left side. Sweeping it up. And a nice scoop on the other side. That's a fine play. Baskin owes Mr. Nunez a steak because he dug that one out at first base. Speaking of steaks, there are a bunch of ribeye steaks out there. Jesse Soberall had a couple of them. Bowen Landry had a steak as well. And the Bandidos lead it 3-1. 13U title game. The funny thing about the Bandidos, this isn't the first time. I mean, a team wins 124 in a row as this younger team does. There was a Bandidos bunch back in 2008 that rolled off 139-plus wins, and they were comparing them in the Houston Chronicle to great Yankees teams and historical teams. So this isn't the first time that Ray De Leon has laid hands on a roster and they've gotten hot. And I mean really hot, and done a lot of things. So it's kind of fun historically when you're chasing that many wins. But it's 3-1, and it's a Furia team that put a nice step forward, especially with Julian Rodriguez right out of the gates. Lennon Dunn, who played left, made a fine play last inning, has a chance to get things going against Maddox McBride.
It's interesting when Maddox talks about last summer and some of the highs and lows he was describing, right? And you're talking about someone who's just 12 years old at the time. He's told us, D, that, you know, while his team was successful, they won every tournament last summer, including the World Series and PGI. He said, however, I experienced a freak injury that broke my nose and my cheekbone. He said he missed 17 games, but he was determined to come back stronger.
Belted into left center field all the way to the wall. Left the breaking ball up out over the plate. This Furia team is fun. They are going to scrap and scrape out of Fort Worth, Texas this entire time. You could just feel it.
This is what the leadoff guy does. I don't care if you're the sixth hole leadoff guy, is that you want to see a bunch of pitches and then get the one that you want to hit. It's a hitter's count. And again, for Dunn, maybe there was a ball that got past him in the outfield earlier. Well, this more than makes up for it. A leadoff double. It's exactly what you need. Pass the baton.
Breaking ball had to dive out of the way. Noel Garcia. Garcia also working out on the mound. 13 plus years old, about 13 and a half as he pops that one up to the right side. Nice job sticking with it. Ray makes the play.
Another ball that hit so high in the air. You know, you're fighting off the lights a little bit, playing under those tonight for the championship game. Nice job by Hunter to secure the ball.
Christian Show, Panda, as they call him. Christian, a select festival athlete this past year at the 12U age group from Bedford, Texas. Rising 7th grader at Bedford Junior High. Maybe missing class, maybe today and tomorrow. We'll see. Would love to play for
excuse.
Would love to play for Coach Tony at Tennessee. Breaking ball, boy, that's a dandy 1-1.
Yeah, that's been a healthy dose, right? McBride has thrown a ton of breaking balls. That curveball seems to be something he's very comfortable with, confident in, and that's going to require a lot of patience from Furia.
The son of Aaron and Bobby watches that pitch dive low and outside. Pitch dives low. It's an excellent pitch. I think it's frustrating for McBride, wondering why he didn't swing at it, but that was low. This is low. Not by much. And again outside. 3-1 the count. So Show pretty decorated. Andy and I were a part of helping to hand out some awards for him. He's a 23 Select Fest out, 23 Pitcher of the Year. He pitched a perfect game at PG events in 2024. Good fastball, 3-2.
I think TK Furia is really scrappy. It seems the way that they've played all weekend long is that way. They've played some really close games. They won 11-5 in the semifinals to advance to this championship game. That was one of their largest margins of winning, but the rest of these games they've played have been scrappy, and you can tell that's maybe their style.
Time is called. 11 and 12U Select Festival athlete Christian Show. He's got a runner in scoring position against a fellow Select Fest athlete in the 3-2. Bouncing ball towards short, bobbled, shoots it on across. Everybody's safe. Runners at first and third. An error that time on Paxton Scoggin, the shortstop.
He hits this really hard, right? It kind of takes a funky hop right into the chest of Scoggin, and he tries to recover, not in time because Show's got that speed, And also, while that ball was coming in, you've got Dunn, who's crossing in front of him as well. Good job by Dunn to not interfere, right? The fielder has a right to the ball, but it kind of took a funky hop onto Scoggin, and so now you got DK Furia cooking.
Brantley Baskin from Aledo, Texas. Just a few months past his 13th birthday. Breaking ball high and inside. 1-0 the count to Brantley. Baskin's got 4 hits. He's also got a couple of walks at this event. Gotten on base about 30% of the time. 4 stolen bases, so that means if he gets on, he can motor, he can move. Young Brantley Baskin. 2-0 lines that one into center field, but a good first step. Early makes the play, fires it to the plate. Not in time, 3-2. That's an RBI. That's a well-struck RBI and a nice play by Early to get there.
I like the stroke. And honestly, I like that he brought the run in. The effort there from Early to get it in, just not quite in time. The speed from Dunn has paid off. He doubled, don't forget, to start this inning. And that's why it's a 1-run game.
Chase Reese is the designated hitter. From Slidell, Louisiana. Chase's dad went to the University of New Orleans. Did a couple of years of JUCO baseball, pretty good athlete. Dad, Brad. Breaking ball, shot, base hit left field. Lovett going first to third. Did he make it in there safely? Did not. Pushing the envelope. Christian Show, don't know that I blame him. Trying to knock the Bandidos onto their heels. Make their head coach Ray De Leon a little bit uncomfortable in the team that never, ever, ever loses. Well, Furia has a message. We hope maybe tonight has a different ending. What a fun 13U title game.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. I gotta go, dawg. I'm riding a road, y'all. I think that I'm back in my bag now. So I need that go, y'all. Got hits when they throwin' the fastball. Too much shit I've been through, so I put it all in that rear view. Clean money in a black whip. Got old problems with the friends new.
For me, it really means like it's like, I don't know, like a privilege, because everyone wants to be on the Bandidos. Like, we're known for what we do, and but everyone also talks a lot of trash about us and just says like, oh, wait till next year. But every year we just keep getting better and better, because our relationships as a team just keep getting better and better. And I really feel like we're like a whole family. Like, some organizations, like, you lose someone, but we haven't added anyone new. We just keep the same family and keep growing up together.
He leads things off. He is Kingston George. He is a Select Festival athlete. And that's a thoughtful answer for a young man. 12U Select Festival athlete last year. It sounds like a certain team that plays in Los Angeles that nobody enjoys either. And part of it's relational, Danny. You have to have talent, just like the Dodgers do. I'll say it, right? You have to have talent, but you have to have trust. You have to have selflessness. If you have selfishness, it blows up.
Well, I'll go back to Ray De Leon and the culture that he's created with this team, and just hearing him speak so passionately about why it's important to keep the same guys on your team and to give them opportunities. And there's a lot going on in the amateur space right now, and it reflects what happens in college with the transfer portal. And when you build a culture that people want to be a part of, and that you foster these guys, and you know you're going to get a chance to develop, but also when you ask a big league guy what his favorite memories are from baseball, 9 out of 10 times, they're going to say travel ball.
Yep.
And that culture, Kingston, Georgia's speaking to.
3-1 the count to Kingston, the son of Kira and Kyle, and he is the big brother at home. I say that because sisters Kennedy and Campbell are just 9 and 4, and brother Cash is just 6. I mean, he's an old man in comparison. Good 3-1 hack, but an even better pitch. He challenged right up to Garcia.
And that's what I want to keep seeing from Garcia, right? I said it earlier. Obviously, you want to be careful. You respect what this lineup can do, but you should also respect the pitches you got.
Earns himself a walk. A little arm side run. That one's high and inside. That's ball 4. Leadoff base runner in front of Paxton Scoggin. The pride of Silo, Oklahoma. Shortstop, pitcher. He's at Silo, the middle school. He's a rising 7th grader. He rockets that one firm on the ground, foul.
He's listed as 5'10", D, but I'd argue he might have grown a little bit since the last time that height was recorded. He looks very tall.
'Tis the season, 'tis the age, that 13 and 14U age group where there's a lot of growing going on. Good look, that almost had change-up action. Good pitch, 0-2.
Got some funky motion to it.
Paxton, the son of Kristen and Stone. His older brother's name is Peyton. Peyton's 16 years old. Dad, a college baseball player. Played at Southwest Oklahoma State and Weatherford, Oklahoma. And Gramps, Phil Scoggin, played football at Texas A&M and 5 years in the NFL with the Miami Dolphins.
That's awesome. But he's got a couple good stories, huh?
Can't even imagine story time with Grandpa. The 1-2. Outside, 2-2 the count. I always like pointing out that in the classroom, when it's worthy, Paxton has never made below a 95 on his report card. That's the best note of all. Wrecking ball, inside corner, that's strike 3. Drop a hammer on him, Garcia. That was a great pitch.
I'd give that pitch an A+. Stopped Paxton Scoggin in his tracks. Thought it maybe would cut in, and it stays in perfect placement. Nice job behind the plate, Colt Connect, who's his battery. That's the first strikeout for Garcia.
Gerardo Hurtado takes a breaking ball that's high, but a high strike. 1-0 the count. A lot of travel ball for this young man. As a matter of fact, if you include his spring calendar, which is busy, that's 100 PG events. Heck, in this event alone, he's got 4 hits. He's got a walk, getting on base a bunch.
That's a busy calendar. It's only the start of the year, too. This is our unofficial kickoff, which I love, to the season.
Hurtado also plays football. Speaking of kickoff, we kicked this one off beautifully. This event started the other night, and the incredible gathering. Kind of an opening ceremonies, but way, way bigger and better than that. Just to call it an opening ceremonies, the festival kicking off. Incredible energy with so many young players from ages 6 to 14 inside.
I like the pitch. Obviously, Garcia wanted the call. It was not a strike. That was the right call by Jordan Simmons behind the plate. But I like the pitch a lot.
Two and two the count. Well, steps off, gets back behind the rubber. 26 different divisions, ages 6U to 14U, 9 different age groups, more than 1,000 teams. We'll do it again, 2 and 2 the count. This is the official, as you said. The gun goes off and everyone starts running in the PG youth circuit at this event. It gets very national again at the end of May at Panama City Beach, Florida at the Beast of the East tournament. That's a true national tournament again. These two teams, by the way, they've got top spots. They have earned it. No matter who wins this game, top two teams get top spots in that event. So kudos to both. And I think where that's big, Danny, is that pitch is low. Again, we'll remind you, Furia came into this event seated 22nd. They'll go in with a much more favorable draw in Panama City Beach, Florida, seated minimum second, maybe first if they win tonight.
I also think there's a lot of respect when you roll into that tournament knowing where you finished in this one. 1,000+ teams, and you're down to the final two?
Ball 4. Good at bat for the 9-hole hitter. You like nothing better than a hitter that can patiently flip that lineup. Because we'll keep documenting it. There is a lot of thunder in this lineup.
Yes, there is. Back to the top. That's where the most damage has been done so far.
South Carolina's Raylan Hunter. Great wide receiver. Great defender on the basketball court. Pounds that one right off the dirt in front. Well past the bag. 2 outs in the inning, though. And you keep it simple if you're Furia. Despite the fact that he's speedy, you realize, okay, this is out number 2. Just focus on 1 out on the play, and they did that well.
Yeah, again, not an easy play. You got to decide how much you're going to charge. You've got the runner coming in. They get the guy at second base and still effort towards first. But check out that speed from Hunter. It's hard to beat.
Chabby Pizarro, the head man, the head coach, part of the staff with that Furia organization. 3 home runs already this season for Tyler Early. Let's see, what did he do last year? So last year, Early homered 18 times in 179 at-bats. In 23, he homered 16 times in 104 at-bats. In 22, he homered 14 times in 125 at-bats.
Can we just also take a look at his presence in the box? The intimidation factor alone. He looks as tall as the umpire. He's almost as tall, this 13-year-old young man, as the umpire.
And to your point, he's 13 plus 3. I mean, 13 plus 3 months. Breaking ball outside, 2-0 the count.
He's got a really great idea of the strike zone. You can tell the way that he watches pitches in, but also by the numbers, right? Those also tell you a little bit about him as well.
The Louisiana man awaits the 2-0 swing and a miss. Hold back the string on 2-0. Good pitch.
That was a really good pitch. It looked really tasty and then just dropped out. Garcia's done a good job. He's been fastball heavy, but when he can land those secondary pitches, they've been really effective.
Juan Soto, his favorite man to watch play baseball. As that one dots the outside corner, 2-2. And by the time Tyler was 12, his shoes were 14. Well, he's now 13. I think those shoes may be bigger than 14 now.
Did they go up 2 sizes per year? How does that work?
No, it's got to stop at a certain point. Outside, 3-2 the count.
Listen to this sequence, D. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go for it. This right here, Danny. Sorry about that. Is a wonderful foundation for a strong man.
Yeah. It's a wide stance. I don't know if this is a two-strike approach. I think maybe it's a little young to have a two-strike approach. Maybe you're never too young to have one.
Passes the baton. I interrupted you a moment ago. What were you about to say?
Yeah. I wanted to talk about the sequence to Tyler early that was coming from Noel Garcia. It was changeup, curveball, changeup, then a fastball for a ball, and then another fastball that resulted in that walk. But it was all off-speed secondary pitches before he allowed the fastball to pass by early.
Leland Henry, Houstonian, would love to play at Texas or LSU someday. Kicks away, far enough away for a run to score. Maybe two, just one. 4-2 is the score. Ray moves on to third. Early moves on to second. Kingston George comes home.
Leland Henry worked a walk in the first. He's also got a really good eye at the plate, and he's also just really intimidating in that box.
Bouncing ball played off to the left. That'll hurt. It's hit hard, so it rolls all the way toward the wall. In comes Hunter. In comes early. And Henry, with a hard hit ground ball, manages to plate a pair.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the power, right? That's the strength. He's got that man strength already, it seems like. And that hop, he got played, right? Show stayed back instead of maybe taking a step forward, got caught flat-footed there. But that was scorched by Henry, who makes it a 6-2 ball game.
It's tough to do. I mean, playing that ball in front, anyone would tell you, coaches, not me, because I couldn't do it. That's why I pitched. But to step in front of that baseball's the way you make that play. But it's tough to do when you have someone hitting it at a above human level that you're used to dealing with.
Yeah, I'll tell you a quick story. I played second base in St. Louis, and Jose Oquendo, who was the third base coach for the Cardinals, his daughters played travel ball. I played against them summer after summer, and I would scoot back past the grass when they came up to bat, and I thought to myself, please don't hit it to me. Please do not hit it to me. They had so much power at such a young age, and I was just a little tiny, wet noodle, and I didn't want them to hit it to me. That's probably why I didn't play past high school, but I grew out of that, but I understand the sentiment.
"100 runs scored for the Bandidos at this event. 3-0 the count. Soberall, who doubled in a pair back in the first inning. Ball four. Did you play your high school softball season in the fall or the spring? Fall
yeah,
or
we
spring?
were in the fall. And man, was it competitive. I played with an All-American who went to Michigan, an All-American that went to Alabama. I had a really good high school team. I was really lucky to be surrounded by a ton of talent in St. Louis.
Bowen Landry with a sac fly and an RBI. Nearly nipped him there. It's high and inside. I found Daniel Wexman's stats on the web recently for a fall season from years ago. I'll share them with you in a bit.
Oh, boy.
Shot down the line. That will stay fair. Surrounded out there nicely by Dunn, but plenty of speed. Hurrying up on around is Leland Henry. Soberall makes his way into third. It's a couple of bases. It's a double. And it's a big night for the Bandidos again.
What I love about their approach at the plate is that they're barreling up every pitch that they see. They really have allowed the pitch to travel in, right? They get their hands through the zone, and they're making really solid contact. There's nothing weak about the contact that they've made. These are as big as hits as you can get, and they continue to pass the baton, work the counts. They lead by 5 right now, but they're They're pushing for more. They've just done a really good job. They're proving why they are one of the best teams in the country.
So we'll flippity-flop some things around here. Ray DeLeon, the head coach of this bunch, by the way, he called Tyler Early the 8th wonder of the world. He said Kingston George was one of the best 5-tool players he has ever had. I think we might have, if we're able to share it with you, some thoughts from Ray DeLeon about this current bunch of athletes. Let's listen.
You're going to see these kids playing big-time college baseball. After this weekend, people are going to know who they are, even though everybody knows who they are. Win or lose, because our odds are stacked against us for this weekend, I'm just telling you, we're going to have to do some special things to win 8 games in 3 days and with the -5. But in 31 years, I've not seen a more talented group, and I'm going to say it, than this group of kids. And these are the future stars of tomorrow. And like I said, I'll give this all back to everybody, and I'll quit, and I'll never throw another baseball again if these kids don't end up being where I say they're going to be.
Love that. That's so much fun. They've run-ruled 5 out of 7 teams in the tourney. Close call in the quarters, winning by just a pair. We talked about the 100 runs. He is not a boring soundbite, always will be, always has not had a perfect journey as a coach. And, you know, he's had his ups and downs off the field, which I think that defines a lot of us when you get a little bit older. We've all made our mistakes. We've all gone through professional changes. I think that's what, to me, when you have the more wise now De Leon, and he's still feisty, there's no doubt. But it's a different kind of leadership that you have when you get to his age. And to be able still, I think, to connect to the young athletes like this as you age, it's now a gift.
Yeah, he is something special. He is searching for win 2,000 in his career. A win tonight would give him that. And I bet if you ask him about it, he'll give all the credit to the players. I like that he said that they were, did he call themselves the underdog coming into this? I feel like he said something along those lines.
Yeah,
they've scored 94 runs and allowed just 16 with 2 shutouts.
No. He lost some credibility with me on that one. He knows better. That's Derek Pomero, who was in center field, comes into pitch as that one is low. That was, come on, seriously? What are we talking about here?
Stay humble. Stay humble, Ray DeLeon. We appreciate you.
I remember legendary Notre Dame coach Lou Holtz used to talk like that when his team was busy going undefeated. As a matter of fact, we have a wonderful communication chain going on digitally to let you kind of know how the sausage is made, and so many great people on the ground. Danny's in New York. I'm in Scottsdale. Our production team is in Southern California. We love doing these shows, but communication's key, and we're getting some of the behind-the-scenes notes. And there was a point where it was shared with us that Ray shared with some of our team. We're in trouble, mark my words, was what he said when it was maybe 2-1. Maybe 3-2. And again, I gave you guys the PG version, maybe even the G version. 3-0, the count.
Yeah, but you know why I like that? Because at no point should these young 13-year-old men think that they've got it all figured out. And that's why Ray DeLeon is in charge, because he's keeping them in check, right? When you have a lineup full of what he thinks are future big leaguers, and I could say it too, you could say it too, anyone could see the potential there. Why would I ever put a ceiling on what they can do? But what Ray does so well is balance. Hey, you're getting a lot of attention. People know you. You have Instagram followers, whatever it may be. But we have to win ball games. And I'm not satisfied with a 2-1 win, right? I'm not satisfied with X, Y, and Z. And I think that's really what drives these kids. I think that's why they want to play for him and his entire staff, because it is so much more than I got a base hit, right? It's what did my team do? And I think that's why Ray is so good at what he does.
Hot shot, base hit, left field. Come on down, runs will score. Soberall, Landry will score. Ott moves around. He had come on to pinch run. P.O. drives him in through the hole.
It's a nice piece of hitting. Again, you're just talking about someone who has a lot of power in PO. He's got 8 PG home runs in his career. and he drives in a pair, every guy in the lineup can do just that. 9-2 Bandidos.
Oh, and Ott is running, by the way. Ott is running on the base pads. 0 there.
Hey, by the way, did I notice that? So Adam Ottavino had to take 0 because Walker Buehler took 0 with the Red Sox, and I thought that was pretty cool that Ott took 0 for the Bandidos. I think that's probably a coincidence, but I just wanted to point it out for the super nerdy baseball fans out there. Adam Ottavino has 0 for the Red Sox, and Mr. Ott has 0 for the Bandidos.
2-1 the count.
Was there something you want to say, or?
No, that just didn't land with me, so I appreciate you trying.
Okay.
That's like 99% of my statements, though, with you, so I get it. So on a team, you can have a 0 and a 0?
Exactly, yes. See, many people didn't know that.
Yeah,
Walker
like
Buehler claimed 0. I don't know why Walker Buehler claimed 0, but that's neither here nor there.
No. He doesn't play for the super team anymore, so onward and upward. 3-1 the count on Kingston George. George just missed that one. Down off the end of the bat. A mile high on the infield. Oh, tough break. Unable to make that play. Ott comes on down to score now with the miscue. He was running for Targach. George reaches in his second at bat of the inning. Pio had moved into second base.
Sorry, D.
Yeah.
That is, that's one of those plays. You've got to rely on the communication from your other defenders who are standing there, and it can get lost in the lights so easily when it's hit that high.
Yeah, tough break there for this squad, for the Furia squad, who in the 22nd seed has played this deep. Kingston's a great story, by the way. Broke his ankle, was out for 6 months playing football. This is his first tournament back. First tournament back, and he's out there doing big things. That's got to feel great to be running the bases out there.
Yeah, welcome back. The unofficial start to the season. That's a nice way to begin.
Vamos,
2-0 the count. That one dives outside. The 3-0. High ball 4.
All right, so this is just about bearing down, right? It's been a long weekend of games. You heard Ray De Leon say it's 8 games in 3 days, and that's the same for DK Furia too. It's the same amount of games. They played 7 games getting to this point. And it's about just bearing down, trying to throw strikes, trying to make competitive pitches, and get your team back to the dugout. You know, we saw a game that kind of broke open early in the 14 UD, and then we saw the other side, MTBA, start to scratch their way back.
Yeah, you want to stop it here, stop it now. Base is actually loaded. 2 outs in the inning. That one misses outside. Got the corner, though, just a snap back frame.
Yeah, you've got Pio at third, George at second, and Scoggin at first.
The 1-1. Back to the screen it goes.
Could I pull up your high school stats online? Did the internet exist back then?
No, but you hit 294 with the 368 on base, and you were on a good team with some talented players, and you were a big part of it. Casey Taylor was amazing. She had a big year. So did Maggie Vivhaus, who hit 570 that season. But you were in the heart of that lineup with a 368 on base.
Wow.
1-2 the count.
Give me back. I am terrified. Did you get that out of the St. Louis Post-Dispatch?
I mean, Stephanie Belfield scrapped a little bit. She had a tough year. It was tough for Steph. Way inside to the backstop it goes. Run will score. 11-2 the number. Peel was on third. George moves up. Scoggin as well. High pop up, left side. Long run. It dumps in there. Running hard around the bases, and a couple of more runs score. 13-2 with a single and an RBI. Gerardo Hurtado drives in a pair.
Yeah, again, we've talked a little bit about bat to ball. You can see the pitch is outside on the outside part of the plate. It gets hung up, but it's in that no man's land, right? That is the Bermuda Triangle of baseball. When the ball is hit there in any diamond sport, it requires so much communication. It's that left fielder's ball. Sometimes that shortstop will go back and they'll try to make a little Willie Mays type play, but that is a really hard play to make.
A pitch dives down and away to Raylan Hunter. One and one the count to Hunter. Doubled scored, reached on a fielder's choice and scored as well. South Carolina man and the gold medalist. The excellent basketball player. Does the March of Dimes walk every year in his community. Nice job defensively firing it down. Connect. Put it right in the perfect spot, but timely hitting this entire inning. A bunch. Hurtado pitched in, Landry pitched in, Henry pitched in. Everyone having fun. Danny and Darren and you. Glad to have you with all of us. And an opportunity to enjoy two teams that have really grinded to get to this point at the back end of an event that's it's becoming historic how special it is. I'm excited to watch Julian Rodriguez hit again, I'll promise you that, no matter the score. Rodriguez put a heck of an at-bat his first time through, and he kind of set the early tone with a leadoff double. Stepped into the box fearless, ran the bases fearless, and they played little ball and scored a run. Curveball misses inside.
It's a pretty long sit for Maddox McBride. He comes back out, and he's throwing a lot of off speed. He is throwing that curveball, and I said it earlier, it's all about patience for DK Furia, right? He's trying to land it, and I appreciate it very much, but it's been more off speed and more curve than fastball. And you got Julian Rodriguez, who can rip a double and use that speed to his advantage.
Buried a fastball in. It's a high fly ball to right. It's still traveling. Still traveling. Let's watch him run. Touches second. He'll stop right there. Well, we talk about the slapping of the baseball. Certainly he can do that. That's some good old-fashioned turn and burn power.
Yeah, I love that. Quick hands through the zone, puts his head down and run. That's what you do as a leadoff man, wherever you may be. Look, he could have just given up and thought it was going to be caught here, right? He turns on the heater right there and gets himself back-to-back leadoff doubles for his team. I don't care what the score is. I want that guy on my team every day of the week.
Another good one, too. Mark De Leon. Swing and a miss right through that one. Grounded out to second. Back in the first inning. Mark's got 6 hits. Mark's got 4 walks and an on base of near 500.
That's a good take. I know in this moment you feel eager to make things happen, to dig out of this hole. But I do think that if DK Furia can wait for a pitch to drive, right? It's all about that barrel. That's what the Bandidos have done so well, is that they've barreled up the pitches that they're hitting.
The 2-1. Slaps that one foul, 2-2 the count. Well, when it's 13-2, if you have the right leadership, and they do, in Chabby Pizarro, you have fun. You don't mock the fact that you're trying to win and you're down by a bunch. You have fun. Let every at-bat count. Make it 13-2. Make it 13-3. Make it 13-4. Chase a pitcher from the game. Bouncing ball. Do little things like that. You know, take pride in playing little ball and adding to the scoreboard and take advantage of it. And that's what just went on there. Again, that's the second time De Leon has done the right thing with the runner, either at second or third.
Yeah, and these are the fundamentals. This is what I want to see from 13-year-old kids. Number one, I want to see you having the most fun, right? This is the time to have a lot of fun in this game. And that's what these coaches are for, to help facilitate that. And number two, I want to see fundamental baseball. Move the runner over. Bring him in. I think that's what we should be seeing from these guys. And we are seeing it. And again, 1,000 teams have come through. The 13U age level is so competitive already. Furia's got nothing to hang their heads about. They had massive wins, 7 games to get to this point, 6 wins, 1 tie. They beat Let Them Play 11-5 to get to the championship.
Giancarlo Nunez. Big swing, fouls it off. He's got a little sister. Her name is Mia. She's only 6 years old. I asked the athletes, hey, share the name of your parents for me, please. And then share the name of your sibling and let us know how old they are. I always get a kick out of the athletes that share the name of mom and dad and how old mom and dad are. I'm sure mom appreciates that. That's what he did. No, I won't pass it along. Noelia, I will not pass it along. Trust me, Noelia, I won't. Carlos, I may. I mean, Carlos is 42. But never give away a lady's age. I know better than that. But I find it kind of charming when the young men are like, yeah, my dad's 55 and my mom's 51 and my sister is 18. And
I like when they put their pet names.
Yes. Yeah, pet didn't make the cut in his bio. His dad was a great athlete, though. Played college baseball at Alabama. Played in Puerto Rico for 10 years professionally. His dad, Carlos Nunez.
I bet he's an Aaron Judge fan, too. D, go ahead.
Yeah, but I was going to say, to go back to Carlos, if you played sports at that high of a level, I bet you still look good for 42.
He appreciates that, too.
2-2.
He absolutely does. So this is what I'm talking about, right? Your team is down, but you're working the count. You're staying in it. You care. You're not just swinging at anything.
And when you do, you make it count. Base it into left field. You sit back on the curveball. You've been asking for barrels, and asking you shall receive. You know, it's a little spinning, get me over curveball, but you still have to have the proper approach, Danny.
Yeah, this is the second time through, so they're a lot more familiar with what McBride is going to bring. I can hear Ray DeLeon yelling to McBride, make a competitive pitch, which he is doing. But the second time through, you have better eyes. You have a better mind on what's happening. And I really appreciate the at-bats the DK Furia is taking. This is what you want to see. Just keep... All of this matters, right? These at-bats matter. You're playing one of the best teams in the country. These at-bats matter. Because Maddox McBride, two-time Select Fest kid, right? Maybe he does go on to be a big leaguer. And in this moment, your career is developing. Whether you win or lose the game, I don't care. But what can you learn in this moment? How do you get 1% better in this moment?
Eric Poimero plans to do just that. 13, but as we told you earlier, pushing 6-2 as that pitch is low and outside. That unique kind of athlete like an MJ Melendez that can catch or play in a prime position in the outfield. Tied him up. They get one. Try to get two. They didn't. It's a tough double play. It just was a very slow roller. So you get Nunez.
Yeah, he just wasn't able to extend the bat, extend his hands. It's a nice job by Hunter to stay down on that bouncing ball. They get the lead runner.
0-1 the count on Dunn. You know, even going back to the curveball he threw earlier, maybe the one that he left up that got hit, you're able to tie up Poimero because of the curveball in his mind. That was a hittable fastball, but if you're thinking curveball, that one will send the runner into scoring position. If you're thinking curveball, that fastball, even middle in, plays way in and off the plate, and that's exactly what happened. Danny, as you said, that's why Nunez couldn't get, or I should say Poimero couldn't get his arms extended.
Yeah, that's
just
a really good point.
Just the thought of the curveball, you know, just the thought of it.
It's a really good point. And at 13 years old, you know, sometimes I know what to expect from these guys, D. We spend a lot of time around them, but I also try to remind myself they're just 13 years old.
Mm-hmm. 2-1 the count.
You had to dig for my high school stats, by the way. I know those are buried deep on the internet. And what you don't know, or maybe you do, is that most of those hits that on base, those are bunts.
Okay.
I pretty much was only bunting in my career. That's all I did. So I couldn't even do what these guys are doing.
Late call of time. Maddox is given the call. 13-3 the score. Furia, respect to how they're playing this game. Took a tumble on the mound that time, did Mr. McBride. Lennon Dunn, the hitter.
I think there's some rain coming down. We saw those clouds overhead earlier. The weather, grateful for those weather reports. It was 77 earlier, very windy.
The 3-2. Outside is off a pitch. That one missed wide. Saw 3-2, but it was now 3-2, I believe.
I have a ton of respect for these at-bats that Furia's lineup is taking. They are working the count against McBride.
10-run lead. 2 outs. There's that pitch in when you're thinking it's going to break. It never does, and it's off the knuckles. Dunn's helped on the mound. He's pitched 4 2/3 innings for his team and struck out 6. for Furia. He's also got 9 hits, hitting .450. Homered, 5 doubles. Hit him with a breaking ball. Took a tumble on the bump that time as well.
You know, I'm not in the business of making comps, Darren, but in our last game, the 14U game, we saw Sawyer Perry. He was the first baseman for MTBA on the left side of the box. Very tall, very lanky. And Lennon Dunn kind of reminds me of him, just trying to figure out how to use your levers, right? He had that double and scored in the second inning, and he works the count all the way full. He wears one for his team, and this is good baseball. This is proud baseball.
Noel Garcia is the pitcher. He has to dive underneath that one. 1-0 the count.
That's the 60th pitch for Maddox McBride tonight.
Well, popped up to the second baseman last time up. And he's going to pop this one. Well struck. Center field. Going back. Still going back. It's off the wall. Look at Garcia. Give it a ride. A couple of bags for Garcia. Big swing of the bat. 2-run score. The fight in the Furia is respectable.
Right down the middle. Doesn't miss it. He gets all of that. It ties up early. That is a tough play. That ball had a lot of spin on it. And what I appreciate is Lennon Dunn, who got hit by a pitch to extend the inning, right? We don't know what would have happened, but he wears one, and he goes first to home. 2 runs score, 13-5.
Christian Show reached on an error. Christian Show, extension. Drives it to left. Off the glove out there of Soberall. It kicks away. Another run scores. It's 13-6. Safe with the slide. It's a double. And again, this Furia team scrapping and scraping and making their presence known.
This is what it takes, right? Second time through the lineup, seeing the ball better, waiting on that impending, dooming curveball that we've been talking about that's tying guys up. The hustle double, which I love, and Noel Garcia scoring from second base as well, right? Just keep passing the baton. You hit, I hit. You go in, I go in. It's obviously, you know, you're getting into the 60s for the pitch count here for McBride. But they're taking advantage. I love it. They've almost cut this score in half.
Brantley Baskin from Aledo, Texas. Now, this would be the second mound visit if they're visiting. And that'll be all for McBride if, in fact, they're visiting. Yeah, that will. So they'll take the baseball from Maddox. We'll see what Ray has up his sleeves as far as moves. We'll reset the situation. We'll come back. Things getting interesting. Feels like it's a rout, but it's not anymore. Furia clawing their way back.
It's time to raise up, show that evil we ain't weak. We don't turn the other cheek. I can show you how to be strong. Come on, follow me. Heard you looking for a hero. Well, look up. I know the journey got hard for a minute, but I ain't giving this up. I got the heart of a champion. If I get knocked down, I get back up.
Eat some protein if you're watching this one. I mean, really hang around. This is a fun one. This is not boring. Whoever said it was boring was just wrong. All sorts of fun in this game. Let's see, who are they going to? Ray makes the call. He's got Kingston George, the DH.
Is that Christian Show?
Nah, it's Kingston. Kingston George.
My bad.
That's okay.
I do need some protein. I do need some protein right now.
Both these teams.
As my producer says, that guy's on the other team.
Yeah, this is Kingston, and I think the greatest news that we shared earlier, Rielasik's on campus helping to manage the game from that end, and she shared that note that Ray shared with her that Kingston called him one of the best 5-tool players. We're going to test that and have him pitch, but, breaking his ankle, out for 6 months. Here he is pitching, and here he is, first tournament back. How much fun in the championship game for Kingston. What have we seen from Kingston in the past? Let's just do a little dive. He was up to 82 last summer. Last summer, he threw 27 2/3 innings, struck out 57. A lot of walks, but he struck out 57. Sidearm delivery, a little bit of a lower arm angle as he zips that one up and away. Kingston says he has a 6-year-old brother that he thinks will be better than him. And then Dad heard Kingston say it, and he nodded. I actually agree.
I love the self-awareness.
He's fired up right now. Here's the thing. You've been waiting a long time to play. You've been playing in this event. You're just back. Title game. It's hard. You want to overthrow. And calming it down for Kingston. He's throwing hard. He's throwing plenty hard. But again, he's pretty juiced up. Everything up in the zone.
Well, you want to get your team back to the dugout, right? You saw the Bandidos do it in the bottom of the second. They put up a 10 spot. So it's easy to overthrow in this situation. It's also raining. That doesn't help.
Well, if he came on, when they removed McBride, I don't think they moved McBride with ball 1, unless I'm mistaken.
I don't think they did either, D, but
they may have. I think, now that I think about it, Maddox McBride, I think, threw a curveball for ball 1.
I think you are right.
To Brantley Baskin, and then they made a move, and since then he did throw 1 and got removed. That's exactly what happened. So that is ball 4. It's tough sometimes for an umpire. I get it. You forget you inherited the 1-0 count. I understand that. And he was just reminded.
I also forgot. I apologize.
He was reminded with love from the dugout, from the Furia dugout. I said, "Excuse me, Mr. Umpire, sir, please." Pitch is high, 1-0 the count.
All that George needs to do is just let his defense work for him.
Two and 0. And of all the things, when you've had that much time off, of all the things that sometimes might be the most challenging, it's working on the mound. Despite the fact he's got a nice big arm. Way inside. That struck him. Oh, boy. Got him in the helmet. Thank goodness he's all right. Thank goodness he had that flat on. The flap, I should say. Chase Reese hit with the pitch.
Yeah, that's scary, right? These kids are throwing in the mid to upper 70s at their age, and it's raining. The ball slips out of his hands, obviously unintentional. But they're going to make a change here, D, and I agree. You want to get back to the dugout, right? And obviously, it's okay that you don't have it, but good job by Ray De Leon to bring another guy in and stop the bleeding.
Leland Henry is on.
Wow. Oh, you feel brand new. That's crazy. I feel no pain, nothing. That's like crazy. Zero pain. Zero.
Yo, that's crazy, dude.
Like, I can't feel my traps anymore because they've been going and they're super loose now. But my legs, it almost feels like somebody's just like, bump, bump, bump. It feels like you're getting a massage, free massage.
choose my pros, no better way to go.
Tomorrow, amazing. Norco against Summit, and the #1 team in the land with 4 players, and it's not hyperbole, that could be day 1 draft players, Corona, against a team with a ton of heart and talent in La Mirada. It's the SoCal Championship, the showdown. That we've been the provider of content for this entire event. I'm excited to do these games. Danny did a great job in the semifinals. I can't wait to call these games with Steve Phillips tomorrow.
It's really good baseball. Like, if you're a baseball junkie, you're going to love it.
A high strike. Big fella coming on. Leland Hendry is there. Maddox McBride moved over to first. Took a tumble on that mound.
The mound, so it is raining. Obviously, it's slippery out there. We saw McBride do that a couple of times as well. So Julian Rodriguez has doubled twice in this game. He's doubled twice and scored, in fact. He's got a ton of speed. He is electric to watch. He's going to put a ton of pressure on the defense, which is why Ray De Leon is coming out now. Thank goodness for Brie Elastic, who's in the dugout, who also told me it was raining. That's how I knew, by the way. And Ray said that this is the at-bat of the game. And it is the at-bat of the game. Julian Rodriguez can change this game. He could clear the bases. He is capable of hitting the ball down the line and clearing the bases and bringing this team within a couple of runs. Going over the plan. I like it. I like the move.
It's a synthetic turf mound, too, and sometimes when you opt to, and you should, you know, they ask you to not wear spikes on that synthetic turf mound, and so there are times when you will slip. You can see the wind the flag just starched to center field. Wind blowing straight out to the outfield.
I wouldn't say it's baseball weather, but if they're playing baseball, it is.
2-1 the count. Cowbells have come alive. Julian is some kind of special. 2 doubles in this game. 2 runs scored. Outside, 3-1 the count.
He's also got a great view of the plate, a great idea of that strike zone. He's done a really good job working his at-bats and waiting for the pitch that he can drive.
Inside, ball 4, walked in a run. If that was the at-bat of the game, it was a positive one, and it netted a run. 5 runs in, 5. There has not been a pitcher that has gone to the mound in this game and registered an inning without allowing a run, which at times can happen at the end of a long tournament. Mark De Leon wags that bat. Back to the screen it goes.
This one's for all the steak. It's for all the marbles. You got to reach real deep and bear down here. They're showing a lot of heart.
Leland shoots that one outside. Kingston George is in center or in left field now. Outside. 2-1 the count. Austin Targach saying, whatever you're dealing with, catch your breath. And what it looks like he's dealing with, obviously Danny talked about it, the weather. It's not like a downpour, but just making things slick. And then that front shoulder is opening up early. He's not allowing himself to collect over the rubber and just go downhill with the baseball like that. I mean, you're still up 6. There are 2 outs. And as you catch yourself and just slow things down, just throw it right down the middle. Literally, throw it right down the middle and make them beat you.
Yeah, this is an all-hands-on-deck situation. And to your point, D, even if he's flying open right now, Henry's got to find a way. And again, it's trusting your defense. It's trusting what your team has done all weekend long. And for Furia, it's taking advantage of this moment, right? Both teams are tired. Who can find that extra level to reach deep? This is a big at-bat for De Leon.
3-2 the count. De Leon, the coach of the Bandidos, knowing that when this event started, he had plenty of depth pitching, but as he played deeper, that depth has been tested. He's going to have to win this one ugly, the Bandidos, if they win it. And as you said, all hands on deck. Have you pitched before? Raise a hand if you have. You may get a chance. 3-2. That's what you do. And I know, look, I'm sitting here on a chair, easy chair, saying that's what you do. I know it's difficult in his shoes. But if you could just slow the game down and just throw it middle, let them knock it over the wall. And if they do, you're still leading.
That's the fun, though, right? This is giving me Jupiter vibes. All hands on deck. Anyone who's ever pitched a ball in their life, step up.
Bouncing ball out towards short. You make them work behind you. You make them make a play, and they do. Very close. 6-3 ground out. Tip of the cap to Furia. They have made this a viewing experience. It is really fun. A couple of doubles in this game. Noel Garcia with one of them. The pitcher leaning on the baseball, along with Christian Show. What an adventure this 13U title game is. .13U Super Regional NIT, Danny Wexelman, Darren Sutton, and you. Where are you? We're glad you're with us. Enjoying baseball.
This has been great. What a blast. I mean, there's 1,000 teams that started in Houston over the weekend. You and I have had a chance now to broadcast the 14U championship game, and this one's been a thriller, right? You are watching guys give it their all right now. No one wants to go home empty-handed. No one wants the consolation prize. And if you're DK Furia, you said this at the beginning of our broadcast, D, you're kind of playing with house money right now. And sometimes when you play loose and people don't expect you to beat a team, then you're playing in a different stratosphere. You have a different mindset. For the Bandidos, for Ray De Leon, who's looking for win 2,000, there's a little bit more on the line tonight.
The lead is 6 and shrinking. Now, remember, this Bandidos team played at 10 last time they swung the bat. They can hit. But Poimero has a chance to, you get your team back. You get your team back in the dugout, you manage a 0. The level of confidence will completely shift.
So here's what I... Yeah, go ahead, D.
No. I just think it's really important to punch back if you want to win this game. You don't score here, you may lose this game if you're the Bandidos.
Yeah, 100%. You do not want to get out-energized right now. And in that regard, you don't want to expand the zone. So, yes, I know I'm talking about 13-year-olds, but you don't want to expand the zone, right? And that's what you're seeing in this at-bat here. This is important because you want to make them work. You want to hit the pitches. This is what you've done all game long. Drive the pitch that you can hit. Barrel it up. That's what the Bandidos do.
There's a base runner. To start things off, Ray here in the third with a walk. He may not be there for long. Tyler Early walked a couple of times, scored a couple of runs, strikes fear into opposing pitchers. To the backstop. Yeah, it's been that kind of tournament. I see you. I see you, Tyler. We busted you. That was a face-splitting yawn right there. And he's too young to be doing espresso shots and stuff like that. So you got to reach down and find something extra as he takes outside 2-0 the count.
Well, this is their third game today. Don't forget, right? They started early. Both of these teams had to win 2 games to advance to the championship game. 3 games in a day would exhaust anybody.
Big swing. And taking a ton of pitches would exhaust a lot of folks as well. So, gotta make sure the neck's ready to go.
Don't mess with Texas.
2-1. Inside. 3-1 the count.
Good take. Good take. Again, you want to make good decisions, good swing decisions at this point in the game. Everyone's tired. Everyone is running on fumes right now. I don't know if they drink coffee. Maybe they should start tonight.
The 3-1. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks to start things. And all that happens in front of the man who's trying to find his way on the mound right now as a pitcher, but he gets to hit in Leland Henry.
So how does he flush last inning? Let's see.
Are you kidding me? It's the best kind of therapy. Put a bat in your hands, and it's the best kind of therapy. He'll pitch when he has to pitch. He'll worry about that later.
Yeah, you're right. He feels at home here.
He's thrilled. There we go. Just give old-fashioned signs. The 1-0. Outside. 2-0 the count. I always get a kick out of watching Major League games, and you watch more than I do, maybe, Danny, with all the great things you do. And when devices go down and they can't hear in their hat with the, pitch tech, pitch comm, whatever it is, they'll bring 19 different ones. Shortstop will bring his over. Bolt down the left field line, foul. The bat boy will bring his pitch comm over. And I find myself thinking, watching the game, can't you just put fingers down at this point? Like, are we really gonna keep bringing everyone's pitch comm device to put in our hat?
We're on the same page. We're absolutely on the same page about that. But what's funny is you have a new generation of kids who have no experience with fingers down.
That's high and inside. So, that being said, I give credit to Chabby Pizarro and his Furia team, Old Souls. He looked down at his device where he was seeing, Apple Watch type thing, the pitches, not working. His catcher says, forget it. Connect says, I'll call pitches. Let's go. Yep, look at him shaking, going old school. Turn back the clock. The 3-1. It's high, it's ball 4.
So this is the point where Colt Connect is going to be really important. Furia's come storming back, right? They put up a boatload of runs. They put up a 5 spot in the third. There's no outs. He's got to be a brick wall back there.
Jesse Soberall Jr. Godzilla from Yonkers, New York.
Hey-o.
Jesse and Kalina, his parents. Jesse's got 3 younger brothers. Zachary's 10. Landon is 5. Little Ryder is just 3 years old.
I bet they're pretty proud of their big brother.
Me too. High fly ball, well struck right. Easy can of corn, though. Trotting on home is Raylan Hunter. Adding to the total, 14-7. Still not a clean inning at all for any of the pitchers.
I mean, that's a lot of power there. This is a pretty decent sized ballpark. We've seen a lot of balls just go to die in the outfield, but it does plate a run. So the Bandidos now leading 2 touchdowns to 1.
Bowen Landry back in the third inning, an RBI double, had a sac fly in the first. Knowing they may need every ounce and every gallon of runs that they pour out here, they're going to try and keep it going. Pitching is thin, both sides.
Yeah, twice he's impacted the game. His sac fly made it 3-0 in the first, and then his double made it 7-2.
Opens up early, hits that one a mile, but foul. Those of us that have played baseball always talk about, hey, back leg him this time. That was a back leg swing. Went down to a knee as he knocked that one foul. Has those pants up high, went down to that knee.
I like the style. A lot of them have their pants above their knees a la Hunter Pence.
Yes.
I dig it.
The 1-1. Kicks away. How far away? Well, the home plate umpire was right there in front of it, Jordan Simons. But that doesn't mean that the runner won't move to third. That's what Tyler Early did. So runners on first and third now. 14-7 the score.
That's good base running, right? At this point in the game, you're feeling a little sleepy. You might need a cup of coffee, but you take the extra 90. Be aggressive. You want to win the game, you got to be aggressive.
Landry, Lina into left field for a base hit. 15-7 the score. Third
So again,
RBI.
Tyler Early, who took the extra 90. He gets to come in to score. He benefits from that. So does Landry, another RBI for him. And he waited. Like, again, you know, it's about pitch selection. Even at this age, you got to wait. And here's what I love even more. You got a big smile on Coach's face. And I'm watching this game right now, D, and I'm thinking to myself, if I'm playing in this game, I'm having a ton of fun. I'm with my homies. We're not in school. We get to go tell all our friends about this. And we're going toe-to-toe. Now, I know it's 15-7, but the Bandidos gave up a 5 spot in the third. They're absolutely capable of doing that again. It's just about keeping the game close right now. But either way, regardless of score, I'm having a blast being in this ball game.
Yeah, what she said. More in a minute.
Players want to maximize their potential.
They are chasing the wrong thing.
Being better is personal.
What works for one player doesn't work for all players.
Players need to be told what they're good at, what they're not good at, and what they need to work on.
They need to be given a personalized plan to help them get to where they want to be.
That's how players get better.
That's how they maximize their potential.
That's how they become great.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us as we build the future of intelligent players.
The weather is warm and it's the perfect time of year to cook outside. Loco Smart Temp griddles provide precise and controllable griddle surface temperatures ranging from 250 degrees all the way up to a sear setting. The cooking temperature always stays exactly where you set it, so your meal always comes out just right. Cultivating great experiences is part of our DNA, and everyone has a seat at our table, so pull up a chair. Cook faster and party longer with Loco Cookers.
Yeah, it's fun to have a win streak like that, but at the end of the day, I'm just lucky that I'm healthy and we're winning and we get to continue showing the love to these young kids and getting them a chance to get on those walls out there. And thanks to the kids and families to get to this time in my life to get 2,000 wins. I didn't think I was that old, but wow, pretty good.
Well, let's not kid ourselves, Ray. You're very old. But we love you. And we love the legacy. And even the ups and the downs and the challenges for your athletes and those that have been through it. It's all part of it. But it's a fun who's who. As Chase Domreese takes the rock and he rolls, but, you know, Kobe Mayo and Grayson Rodriguez and Cole Stewart, Cody Clemens, Colton Cowser, Dylan Cruz, Drew Romo, Ty Madden, Austin Dean, Corbin Martin, big leaguer after big leaguer, Anthony Volpe, that have worn a Bandidos uniform. So yes, but we always get older in life. That's what happens when you have a legacy like the club has. It's also 251 drafted players, and those are players that are coming back, Danny, and they're talking to the 12U kids. They're telling them what it's all about. They're telling about their successes and their failures, and that makes, to me, for a good program.
Yeah, culture beats out everything. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. That happens at the amateur level, the high school level, the college level, and especially at the pro level. And you want to create a space where your players want to be and they want to keep coming back to. And they want to pass everything that they know down to the younger generations. And that starts at the top. It has to. And I think that there's a lot to be said about the culture around amateur baseball and travel teams. And for better or worse, this is where we're at right now. But someone like Ray De Leon, who has taken it upon himself to go the extra mile. And I could imagine that there's a lot of butterflies right now in that man's stomach watching this game. And listen, 2000 wasn't going to be easy, Ray.
To the backstop it goes. Runners will move up. Omri sails that one high. Henry and Landry both move up. You're only as good as your players, though. Good coaches are made by good players. And he's got some talented players that have stayed loyal. I'm sure they've been invited to play on other squads and other teams, and they're sticking together. Big swing, comes up empty, 1-1 the count. Chase Domreese, the pitcher.
Yeah, Domreese has pitched a couple of times last year, and again, it's all hands on deck. This is the early Jupiter. It's the spring Jupiter tournament.
Picked on a breaking ball and fouls it off. 2-1 the count. Boston Targach walked and scored back in the second inning. Grounded out to third in the first.
I like his swing a lot.
Might have to go back to the old signals. Yep. Might have to just let that watch slide. There we go. Let's stick down an old fastball here. Let's do it. Like that. 2-2. Flatonia, Texas. Flatonia Junior High School. An 8th grader, Boston. 3-2 the count. Valerie's his mom. Matt is his dad. Dad a Brave. Drafted by the Braves in the 9th round. 5 seasons in the minors with the Braves and the Marlins. Played a bit with Miguel Cabrera, did Dad Matt.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yikes. Has to hop out of the way. And the bases are loaded. Hey, I
Tries
think
to
he
get
missed
out of
it.
the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have.
Boston never shied away when the ladies asked you to come over and jump rope with them. You can see it. Well done by you.
You had too many energy drinks, or
Not yet.
you okay over
just,
there?
Yep, just waiting to fire up the grill out here in Arizona. Breaking ball is outside. Boston's, by the way, to finish the thought, yes, Dad played pro ball. Mom was an All-State softball player as well. All-State.
Super athletic family.
Steven takes outside. Stephen Pio from Yardley, PA. Look out. Two-time Pennsylvania State Wrestling Champ. Won the middle school wrestling championship. 3 times he's been a PG MVP. It's a couple of wrestlers. To the right side, hugging the line, still trailing, tracking that one, and it's foul.
I can hear Ray talking in the corner. Biggest step out of the day. Biggest step out of the day. Right here, bases loaded, full count, 1 away.
The 3-2. It's high. It's ball 4. Ray says that. He's also got the words in his head of his hitting coach, Ryan Pandolfini, who means so much to Steven. Got a lot of voices, and he quieted all those voices and patiently took a walk.
Yeah, that's not easy to do in this situation. You want to hit the ball. It's fun to hit the ball, right? This team has a lot of power. They've got a lot of speed. It's a fun combination.
Kingston George takes a breaking ball low.
George has been on base twice today. Scored twice.
Kind of a cool little moment, by the way. Christian Show comes in, calms him down. Show's played at all these big events, is a select festival athlete, reminding him, hey, man, they tie their spikes just like you and I do. Let him hit one out to me. Yeah, let him hit one out to me. And and Show's like, I've played with these dudes. Overthrew it just a little bit far enough away. Could have a play, unable to do so. A head first slide. Landry comes in on that turf. Slides in safely. And makes it 17-7.
Yeah, listen, stay awake, stay ready, stay alert, right? It's easy at this point in a game, especially late at night after a long weekend, to dog it a little bit. You got to keep that energy up. So that's a great hustle by Landry to make it a 10-run game.
He'll work from the windup. Not a bad idea with runners on second and third. Outside. And he lost him. That's ball 4. Bases are full. Strategy. If you know you have no pitching, and that's what Ray has said. He said it going in. Both these teams are definitely leaking air as far as pitching goes. And so it's challenging. And this is no affront to these young men. They're great baseball players. But there is a 12-run rule after 4. And you are up 10. Strategy. It's not about humiliating the other team. It's about we have no pitching. And if we can get a couple of more runs, that'll help. High fly right field, hangs up a long time. Nice play drifting back. That I don't think is deep enough. So that's a huge out. And as I said the other game, Danny, you want to keep hitting if you're Furia because you've been a pain in the backside of the Bandidos hitting.
Yeah, they put up a 5 spot in the top of the third, and now this is the payback from the Bandidos in the bottom of the frame. But to your point, there's so much to gain from this. There is so much to gain. For Show to go out and show that leadership, huge deal. I'll put an asterisk by that. I will remember that for as long as we cover that kid, right? I can't wait to hear what he said to his pitcher in this moment.
Fights that one off, left-handed bat, Hurtado. Singled in a pair, walked.
Everyone talks about, you want to get experience, you want the reps. And you can get the reps in a situation like this. It doesn't have to be in a winning situation all the time.
Oh, gosh, no. I always go back to this just because it was my upbringing. For those who don't know, I was raised by a man who pitched in the major leagues and lost 256 games. So, no, it doesn't have to be. Drops the head on that one, drives that one into right center field. It's down. He may have just emptied the bases. 1, 2, 3. Bandidos will score, and it is 3 bases. It trickles away. Is it far enough away to score another? He stays at third.
How about Hurtado, who's at the bottom of this order? He's waiting patiently for his chance to swing the bat and makes the most of the moment. He gets the barrel on the ball, drives it into the gap, and guess what? Everyone on base is busting it. Everyone on base wants to come home because they want to go home champions. And Hurtado might have just sealed the deal for them.
The lead is now 13. 2 outs in the inning. Couple of things now to think about. Again, to be clear, if you're the Bandidos, there is a 15 after 3. You score 2 runs, you're the champs. You don't let them have the opportunity. The more realistic thing that could occur is you get 3 outs in the top half and you win. Because the rule there is 12 after 4. And another run scores.
That one just gets lost a little bit. Connect has been so good behind the plate, doing a good job trying to balance all these pitchers and communicate with them despite the runs that have been given up. That's a tough one, but the run does come home. Again, stay alert, stay ready, be aggressive.
Takes that one the other way on the ground. Into the corner it goes. Hurrying on around. He will look at second, be in there standing up. That's the speedy Raylan Hunter.
There's not an inning that goes by that he's not on base. This is the premier leadoff guy. With 2 outs, gets his pitch, drives it. They're thinking about sealing the deal here, right? They don't want to try to roll a pitcher out for the 4th. Tyler Early wants to end things early.
That pitch is high, 1-0 the count. Tyler awaits, takes outside, 2-0 the count for Tyler Early. Again, throughout his amateur career, and I'm only talking about perfect game events, it's about 1 home run every 9 at-bats. It's a crazy occurrence.
You know, you get to the end of the game, and you just want to get back to the dugout, right? You just want to be with your guys. You want this moment to end. But I'll leave you with a really high note right now, is that DK has scored 7 runs. That's the most that the Bandidos have allowed this entire weekend.
Early on the ground into center field. Come on down, incredible speed, and with that, approaching home plate. It's the title for the Bandidos. The 13U PG Houston 1000. The Bandidos are the champions.
Big
and for Ray
Tyler.
DeLeon, yeah, Danny, for Ray DeLeon, it's hundreds drafted, it's dozens of MLB alum, and it's 2,000 victories. Congratulations to Ray DeLeon for 2,000 victories as his team wins the championship. He'll tell you, Danny, it's about the kids. We mentioned that number for just a minute, but it is about his kids.
It's about every guy who's come through this program, whether they played one game with the Bandidos or they played their entire travel ball with Ray DeLeon. He deserves this. His team deserves this. Congratulations to the Bandidos. 1 through 10, 11, 12, 13. Every guy on this team just played their heart out. They're never going to forget this game. Late into the night, Houston, Texas on a Monday, under the stars. The Bandidos are the champions. And congratulations to Ray DeLeon.
What an incredible weekend. What an incredible event, this Super Regional NIT. 26 different divisions. 6U to 14U, 9 different age groups. The Houston 1000 Festival kickoff was unforgettable. That's a classy move there with Chabby Pizarro. And then we wrap it up with 2 amazing champions. And we celebrate the sport at the 13 and the 14U age level. Well, the green flag is dropped. Onward and upward we go. All youth athletes, you are out of the gates. Enjoy your season. Tomorrow night, it's a SoCal Championship. I'll have that with Steve Phillips. Our production team is amazing. Perfect Game TV. Go ahead and get it. Get the app. She's Danny. I'm Darren. You love baseball like us. And we'll see you next time.